Comes as the Biden White House has literally erased Dr. Seuss from their Read Across America proclamation this week, and follows last week's debacle with Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head going gender neutral. And by the way, Michelle Obama herself, yep, you can see in that picture there, wasn't long ago, Dr. Seuss was beloved by all. In that picture, Michelle Obama reading Dr. Seuss books to children when she was the first lady. That was the Cat in the Hat, and all the kids had hats. Listen to what Barack Obama had to say back in 2015. Take a listen.
Pretty much all of the stuff you need to know is in Dr. Seuss. We're all the same. So why would we treat somebody differently just because they don't have a star on their belly? If I think about responsibility, I think about, Horton sitting on the egg up in the tree while Lazy Maisie's flying off.
Yes, I like green eggs and ham. That's about all I remember. Here with reaction, civil rights attorney, Fox News contributor, Leo 2.0, Terrell, along with Dr. and Professor Dibinga. He is with American University. Professor, thank you for being with us. You support canceling these books. Tell us why.
Well, thank you for having me. I definitely appreciate it. And as far as I look at it, it's not about canceling these books. It's about Dr. Maya Angelou saying, when you know better, you do better. And Dr. King saying the time is always right to do right.
You support not selling it. You support this effort. So we got to you can be straightforward.
I support the decisions of a company making a decision on its own that it didn't want to offend the group of people. So I'm all about supporting this. I've read Dr. Seuss books growing up.
What specifically is in the books, though, Professor? What specifically do you object to?
I specifically object to images that depict Asians in a horrible light, that depict African people, black people in a horrible light, and this is something that Dr. Seuss has had a history of doing.
For people that haven't read them, tell us exactly the light that they're cast in. I haven't read these books. My kids are much older.
Well, when you talk about these particular books and you talk about the way they make Asians look, it's the classic example of what we call Orientalism, where they're made to look like they're exotic, where they're made to look like they are less than civilized. And that is also the case with the African characters who appear in the books. We have to understand that over 2,024 characters, 45 of them are non-white and 43 of them look like they're subhuman. And I believe that this company is making the right decision to respect how these people are viewed, especially look at what's happening right now. When you talk about hate crimes, the number 1, 2, and 3 targets are black, Jewish, and Asian people right now. And so we see that there's a correlation between the literature and what happens in society.
So, and I asked you this earlier on my radio show today, based on your standard, then, the Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood that supports racism and eugenics, and let's see, once bragged about speaking to the Ku Klux Klan, I'm sure that you would support no money going to an organization that was founded by such an individual, but meanwhile hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars have gone there. I'm sure you would support canceling that, wouldn't you?
Absolutely not. The fact of the matter is we go to universities that were constructed and made by slaves. The White House was built by slaves, and now they have changed. They're doing their work to be better, be more inclusive. Or should we start destroying universities? Some of us may advocate for that. I certainly don't. I believe Planned Parenthood should stay supported in the role that it is right now.
All right,
like I said,
bring in Leo Terrell.
You do better.
Leo.
You know, I just heard rhetoric. This is a continuation of the program that we had on your radio show. This professor will not tell us who's been harmed by these books. Let me give you some historical context. As a teacher, as a civil rights lawyer who knows what discrimination is, those books are historical books. Those books talks about the weaknesses, the flaws of this country and how this country has grown. I asked you on the radio show, and I asked you on national TV. You name me one person, first and last name, who's been harmed by any of these books. You cannot do it. You talk about racism. You tell me where this racism exists. The city, the state, the person in charge. How dare you come on this program and talk about racism? Talk about these books. Now, I'll ask you right now on national TV, give me the names of the people who have been harmed by these books. First and last name, so we can find out. Because I don't think you can name them. Go ahead, name them. On TV right now.
I think it was Julian Bond who said that America literally translates into.
Oh, there we go. Julian Bond. Julian Bond was not heard by Dr. Seuss.
So I got answers for you. I got facts.
Professor, he asked you a fair question.
Yes, it's a fair question.
Is there anybody?
And I'm
because we
it.
just
the fact of the matter is,
hang on, sir. We just heard from Michelle Obama and Barack Obama. Everything you need to know, you can learn in a Dr. Seuss book. Now, Leo's asking you a question. Can you name any specific people harmed by these books?
Sure, I can name the black community that has been harmed by this book. So if you're asking me if I'm going to talk about Amir Johnson,
you don't say that.
In Bed-Stuy,
you do
and
not
say that he's been hurt
represent
by
the black
this book.
community. Do know you're
How about
wrong.
we talk
You're
about books like The
wrong.
Sneetches
You do not
that
represent the black
talk
community.
about?
You don't represent me. For you to sit here and say that is a lie.
I am definitely
you do
not trying to
represent the black
represent you.
community.
You are
don't
right.
speak for the black community.
I
don't speak for the
I
black
am definitely
community.
not
How
trying to
dare you come on
represent
this
you, but I can answer your question.
You are definitely a Democratic
I can answer your question. Look,
you don't speak for the black community.
Give me
a first and last name.
Look, we can go back and forth and yell all night. I didn't come here for that.
Because you can't give me a name.
Just like on the radio show, you got loud words, but no
Stop spreading
experience.
racism.
All right, let me ask a question.
I want to talk about society.
Let me ask about.
I want to talk about society.
Hang on. Now, Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, they not only advocated the books, they promoted the books, and Barack Obama, we just played it, in his own words, said everything you need to know about how to treat each other is in the Dr. Seuss books.
When you talk about books like...
Did they miss something at the time? Because obviously they viewed them very favorably.
I think throughout Dr. Seuss's history, we have all missed something. And when you look at books like the Sneetches, for example, that has been used as part of anti-racist literature. But then when you take a deeper look, you see that it tells you that it's okay to be colorblind.
Your kids have those books.
I'm sorry. I thought I was speaking.
Your kids have the
I'm sorry. I thought I was
books.
speaking.
Yeah, but why don't you tell the audience your kids, your children have those books? Why don't you tell the audience your children have Dr. Seuss books? So you're a hypocrite. You're talking out of both sides of your mouth.
So can I tell you that? Look, I'm an MC as well, so if you really think you're going to out-battle me or like out-talk me, I'm just being respectful because that's how I was raised. I don't know how you were raised, but I'm here for a respectful conversation. We can go there any other time of the night.
Personal attack. I'll debate you anytime. I'll debate you anytime. Show me the systemic discrimination. You got nothing to say.
You said you're a civil rights lawyer?
Democratic talking point, race card.
We'll end it there.